Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sports Express Weekend Wrap-Up Show. I'm Rob Bennett with the coach Dan O'Hara. I am sick as a dog, so we are going to plod through this relatively quickly this week.
From Pop Warner to the Dome, from 5Ks to marathons, from Little League to work leagues, focusing on the community sports lifestyle in Central New York.
First things first, congratulations to the Skinny Atlas Lakers. Boys soccer team just won the Section 3 championship. Big goals by Alex Arefiev and Brendan Powers, 2-1 win over Marcellus. What do you think of that?
I feel unprepared. We have no film. We have nothing.
Yeah, we've got the film. Here we go. You're gonna see Jack Donovan take a dive. Well, not take a dive, but he might have taken a dive. But the referee called the play and called the penalty, and then Alex Arefiev, big time, comes in with a big boot and puts Skinny Atlas up 1-0. West Hill just continues to pressure. Gets the handball in the box. You're gonna see it right here. Okay. West Hill gets the free kick, ties the game up 1-1 with 4 minutes left. But Skinny Atlas comes right back. Owen Cheney on the left wing has been setting up that left foot all day long. Most of his shots have gone high. Finally, he puts one on goal. The goalie cannot quite come up with it. And there's Brendan Powers for the rebound. And Skinny Atlas wins 2-1. Congratulations, Lakers. Big weekend of high school football action last week. Big 1-2 matchup in Section C. We've got Cato Meridian and Lowville. The Chad Bach Show was in full force and effect last week. Big win over Canastota. And the Auburn Maroons. What the heck happened there, Dan?
I don't know. I didn't get to go to the game.
You got to read about the game, don't I?
I did. I think half the country read about that game. But yeah, down by a bunch in the third quarter. Came back. What was the score? 32-14, something like that, or down 32, and they came back and they won the game. The final score of that, 61-59. See, I'm
Auburn just
61-59, yeah.
Auburn just made play after play, just reading through this, coming back, getting a touchdown, making the 2-point conversion, recovering the onside kick, scoring a touchdown.
Leon Atkins had a couple touchdowns.
His first 2 touchdowns in his career. Congratulations,
yeah.
Leon. Great job, buddy.
Yep. Dante Herndon, you got two onside kicks he recovered. You looking at the box score, it was 7-7 in the first quarter. Second quarter, Indian River scored 15. Third quarter, they scored 23 to Auburn's 14. Auburn scored 24 points in the fourth quarter, double overtime, and it came down to stopping Indian River on a conversion. So they're moving on, and they will play Friday, 8 p.m. at the Carrier Dome.
Carthage.
Advance tickets on sale now. Listen, Fombo is I.
Fombo.
You got to keep them contained, man. You got to stay in your run lanes, keep your support, and don't let them bounce outside you. But, they came with a game plan last week, obviously, to come back 61-59 in that win. But, yeah, I think the defense now, a second shot at Carthage. It's always hard beating the same team twice. So, especially when I feel that you're a better team.
Yeah, Indian River beat Auburn pretty handily the first game. Auburn comes back and wins. So, a lot of people that I talked to that were at the Carthage-Auburn game, Auburn's got the athletes. Just they got to put the right scheme into effect and go after them.
They did. Last week, we kind of broke that game down. And, when you saw Carthage coming out with 8 in the box, I mean, when you get your best athlete in the backfield, one of your best athletes in the backfield, they were just basically concerned in putting pressure on Troy and containing Beal. But
Troy just decided he was taking over that
Troy
game.
just said, I'm taking over. He was slinging the ball all over the place. So, kind of excited.
Yeah, congratulations.
Rematch Friday night.
Auburn Maroons back to the Dome, back to a sectional championship game. First time since 2006?
Yep. First
All right.
time.
Okay, it's big. They came from nowhere that year, so maybe a little repeat of history in the making here in Auburn this season. What do you say?
Well, I don't think they came from nowhere. I mean, 61 to 59 over Indian River. Most of the points in the third and fourth quarter. They got momentum, man.
You're missing my point.
You came unprepared. The point is they got momentum, and I think Auburn's going to do what they need to do defensively to handle Fombo Azai.
Yeah, the point that I'm trying to make is just like in 2006 when they did not even qualify the playoffs, got in, and then made a big run this year, lost big to Carthage, lost big to Indian River, and they've got a chance to right those wrongs and
Okay, I'll buy
take
that
things
one.
to the next level.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's all right. Let's talk about the other Auburn team.
Let's talk about the Mighty Mites. Coach Eddie Ash. Why are you wearing a sweatshirt, Coach?
Because I'm supporting Eddie Ash.
Eddie Ash.
Mighty Mites, hey, they won big 39-20 over Lowville. They advanced to the Empire State Championship game. So we got to have some Mighty Mites in the studio and talk to them.
Absolutely.
He's doing a good job with
Guess
those
we're gonna-
boys.
Gonna wait until they're done with their season before those guys come in. Is that what the plan is?
I would. Got to focus.
All right.
Got to focus.
They could use Tommy LaFleur.
Dude, Tommy's my guy, man. Come on. We talk about him all the time on this show, even when they didn't play.
Oh.
Yeah,
We gotta get Tommy in the studio.
we do. Hey, guess what? We have his dad.
I know he says he's not gonna come on air today, but maybe we'll get him in the future.
I think we should.
Talk a little hunting.
Yeah, he did some hunting show all over the country, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so we've been begging and pleading with him to join the Backyard Sports Network and the Sports Express team, so we have more coverage of the Jordan Elbridge community sport lifestyle, and I really hope he joins us.
And he's way better looking than I am.
That is
so.
for sure. Yeah.
I was gonna say you, but I figured I'd take that one.
What
So
else is going
hey,
on?
nothing. Big weekend of football. Advance tickets on sale now for Auburn. Get them.
Auburn in the Dome.
Auburn in the Dome.
Marcellus came up short again to Oneida, second year in a row in the playoffs. Last year in the first round, this year the second round. But so we've got Salve, Brock Bagosi, quarterback, just tossing that ball all around. And so they will be facing off against Oneida, which has not lost yet either. So battle of undefeated teams in the Class B final. Weedsport's still rolling in the 8-man league. What do you think about that? Did you see that article where they talked about Weedsport having like 26, 30 guys and people saying, why are you playing 8-man football? Sean O'Connor says, we're not apologizing for that. Coaches aren't apologizing. We are building momentum. We are getting kids signed up to play football, which is exactly why we did this to begin with. And seems to be working out for your Weedsport Warriors football team, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, I bled there in that field. It's kind of sad to watch them go to eight man football, but I get it. Numbers were down; they had to do something. Now numbers are starting to go back up. So, hopefully next year they'll be 11-man.
They will be back. Little soccer. We'll cover Skinny Atlas next week. I think they're going to face Oneonta in the state regional game. I was talking to the Oneonta coach tonight, and I haven't fact-checked this yet. As you said, I'm a little bit unprepared for tonight, but he told me that they've scored 90 goals and let up 3. Not a bad season.
No, sounds pretty solid.
Yep. Basketball starting up. Got modified teams getting in the gym. And volleyball playoffs next week. We've got Skinny Atlas is going to be hosting Cazenovia. Well, not hosting, but Skinny Atlas Cazenovia for the Class C sectional championship. And
What
a
about
lot
that?
of action.
What about that Port Byron field hockey team?
Well, I spoke to Coach, and I'm going to be meeting with her on Wednesday night. Port Byron won their first sectional championship in field hockey in a long, long time.
Absolutely.
When push comes to shove, we've been pressuring John LaFleur from Jordan Elbridge to come on and join the team. We want to be covering your sports, but we need your help. Contact us, Rob at sxpnetwork.com. Rob at sxpnetwork.com, and we'll talk to Coach Gilbert, find out about that sectional championship team. But if you have a great story in the world of sports that you want to get out there, think needs to get out there, please give us a call. We've got our TV show, social media, magazine, everything under the sun. But we need to know. We need your help.
All right, hey, we're here with John LaFleur. Anybody that watches the show knows I talk about Tommy LaFleur. That's his son, number one. And a game I wasn't filming that I went to as a fan, his son scored the first touchdown. So, John, you coach the C team?
Yep, Jordan
C
always
team.
tackle C team.
And what are your numbers like?
Our numbers were okay. We weren't all Jordan Albridge kids. We had that Tillman kid from Auburn,
Zayden?
Zayden.
Monster.
We had a couple kids from Cato, a couple kids from Brook Iron. The whole numbers thing. It's tough right now in the world of youth sports. You push the kids. You want to turn out. You want to get them off the couch. You want to get them involved into something in the community, whether it's sports, doesn't matter what it is. Get them off the couch. Our tackles B team, big turnout. 27 kids, 26 kids.
That's great.
Couple, maybe 4 kids out of district. The rest were all JE kids.
So the big question is, how many of those kids return for another season? What's the percentage?
On my C team, there's going to be there's 2 kids not returning, and they're non-district kids.
So pretty good, steady pace.
Yeah.
From year to year.
Yeah, it's our flag program's big. We could get away with 3 flag teams, and flag is kindergarten through 2nd grade.
They were fun to watch too. There's the one kid, he's telling me all about his touchdown. I turned the camera on, nothing. So
they just do a fantastic job at Jordan Albridge with their youth football program, and everyone is positive, and kids look like they're having a blast, and we need to keep kids playing the great game of football. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I do this segment every once in a while. It's Ask Coach Dan O'Hara, but I'm going to ask the question to Coach John LaFleur and Coach Dan O'Hara. But there was social media was a buzz. Some doctor from New York City went to the New York State Legislature asking that a bill be passed making it illegal for kids under the age of 12 to play the game of football, and just be interested in getting you guys' thoughts on that.
Where do I start? Well, first of all, Pop Warner came out with this tiny mite division, where 5 and 6 year olds wear pads and it's full contact. Mm-hmm. That to me is absolutely ridiculous. And you and I have had that conversation with Dan Conley in the past, and he thinks it's ridiculous. They also put the 7, 8, 9-year-olds into a competitive league instead of in Pop Warner. It used to be, non-competitive. You didn't keep score. It was, to learn the fundamentals. So they made that competitive. So I know we were looking at some statistics about injuries, and it was just mind-blowing that football's not even number one. So I think, with the media, all the stuff coming out from the NFL and the collegiate level about concussions is just blown out of proportion. It really is. I think injuries among youths on trampolines was 3 times as high as football, or something ridiculous. So,
There's so much to it in my view, but Coach, what are your thoughts before I start waxing poetically on the subject?
Well, I most recently had a conversation with some coaches. My oldest son and I, we were up in Canada playing box lacrosse. My son was, and I had one of their coaches ask me about what's going on in Albany right now with youth football. I've been coaching youth football I just finished my 8th season, right from flag up through to tackle, and as a coach, in the way the game is changing because of the concussions.
Yep.
It's great. It really is. I don't think that we have enough resources provided to us as coaches on how to teach new tackle techniques. One thing, for example, I was taught how to tackle you. If you're tackling from the side, you got your head across the front.
Yeah.
They changed that. They want it across the back numbers now. It's really, it was different to coach for at first, but I would like to see more content provided for more resources for coaches to teach, the proper way of tackling and fundamentals and drills with the new system, if you want to call. Jordan Alberts, we use USA Football. It's the Fly Fickle League rule for coaches. They gotta study the new concepts of tackling and playing the game and use sports through USA Football. I don't think that's enough.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the sport of football. I think it's just what we are provided with, our resources we're provided with to get so the coaches have the knowledge.
I couldn't agree with you more.
100%.
And, yeah, I just want to, just kind of paraphrase a little bit about what you were talking about. Number one, it's a completely different game than it was even 10, 15 years ago, and a lot of people don't know that. When I was looking at social media, a distant relative of mine down in Binghamton, I see him post something along the lines of, both of my kids played, Pop Warner football all the way up through high school, and with all of the stuff that happened to them, maybe this is something we should look at. And I said, well, Rick, that was 20 years ago. When's the last time you did some research as to everything that is going into changing the game of football, and what you just talked about with, your head being behind instead of a front? That's a big part of it. We're really minimizing the contact in youth all the way up through varsity football now, and really changing the way it's done. We used to have a Hitman Award on our team, like cracking back and just decleating someone who's not even looking at you. Those shots are completely illegal right now.
Yeah.
And the only thing you can do if a player is defenseless and can't see you, the only thing you can do is hit them with your hands, or otherwise it's a penalty. And they're doing a lot of great things to make the game safer. Another point that I want to make on this, the two worst concussions that I've ever seen were with sixth graders playing flag football. One was two heads colliding, two kids going up to make a play without helmets, and another one was a kid diving for a football and smashing his head back on the ground without a helmet on. And, again, if you're talking about, kids can just go play flag, I'm telling you, the flag game, just like soccer and like all of this, that there's all of these types of injuries. For you to just put football like in this box, it's just, in my belief, 100% not fair.
I'm starting to shake over here because, I know in the Pop Warner level, the flag level, they were teaching kids to block like this. So now I'm putting my head closer to the other kid's head, and it just doesn't make any sense. But, I think where a majority of that problem lies is the organizations not doing a good enough job of vetting coaches.
Yep.
And that's something that I see. I mean, what was the reality show that was on TV, Friday Night Tykes or whatever it was, and go watch that. And that gives the sport a bad name too, because organizations need to understand that if I'm going to have a football coordinator, someone in charge of football operations, you've got to vet your coaches. You can't have Johnny's dad coach because it's Johnny's dad. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things that you've got to be aware of what's on your field and how these kids are being taught. Most organizations, your board doesn't, pay attention to that. And, I was involved in Auburn, and I thought we did a pretty good job, and they did a pretty good job this year of choosing coaches that, know the game, aren't afraid to learn more, and do things relatively the right way. At the junior peewee level, you had Dan Pisarcek, you had Omar Bailey. I mean, those guys coach high school football. They're well aware of how to coach the game. And, the next level, or the level below that, Mighty Mike, you got Eddie Ash. You got a couple other guys on there that have coached high school football and are educated. But some organizations don't do a good job of that. So
it's a big part of that. John mentioned fly fickle, and in order to coach, you have to go through the USA training each and every year. You have to get recertified. It's a step in the right direction. I agree 100% that it does not quite go far enough, and it needs to continue to get better. But again, I don't know a lot of people understand what it takes to coach at a lot of organizations now.
Yeah, it's, youth sports here at Jordan Albridge, our football program, and as well as Skaneateles. I know a lot of people over there at Skanelis that's in the youth program. You know, it's not just about showing up and coaching your son on a football team. Me as a coach, I look at every one of them football players as my son or daughter. I had some girls on the team this year, and you know, you care about them. You don't want to see them get hurt. And some of the ways they're teaching us to teach them how to play the game, whether it's stock blocking, you know, how Tommy LaFleur stock blocks, or you know, that's how they want open field blocking.
Yeah.
They don't want you running through people. They don't want you. They want you putting your hands on them and turning them is what they want.
Well, you should take some credit because I very seldomly do I see a kid that age that can stock block with his hands inside, and you know, he got called for holding a couple times. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It's just
I'm
the
reviewing
referees
the
aren't used
film.
to seeing it at
Yeah,
that
I'm
age level.
reviewing the film going, no, that's perfect form. Hands inside. He's at the breastplate, steering his opponent. No,
remember that play.
he overpowered his opponent. But no, it's just there's people see and they read and they don't understand. I don't know. It's just I can't tell you the last time I saw a devastating injury at a Pop Warner level. You know, even one where, you know, oh, he's got a concussion. You know,
It's hard at those levels. The kids aren't yet fast enough. Sorry, I told
was
you I was
that?
not doing good. The kids aren't yet fast enough to develop the kind of impact that it takes to hurt somebody. And you know, with the full pads and stuff like that, it's hard. I know that I'm a little bit biased, but I don't see the game of tackle football of 9 and 10-year-olds as being more dangerous than a soccer game when kids aren't wearing pads. It's just I don't see it.
yeah, I mean, my son plays. I saw some brutal soccer
Yeah.
collisions. But, I mean, I don't know. I guess, you know, technology is getting better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look at the helmets that I think we wore, it was what?
Yeah,
And, you know, now they have, you know, Skinny Atlas has all the flexes with the
Great
concussion
sensors, yeah, great helmets over there.
concussion protocols in them. So
Yep. All right. Well, hopefully.
get off the couch, man. Put the
Play your sports.
yeah.
So, John, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah.
And I heard you were saying that at one point in time you hosted a little hunting show. What was that all about?
Yeah, I was part of an organization, USOC Adventures TV,
Nice.
and we hunted all across the country. I took out soldiers and wounded veterans and
Awesome.
Waterfowl hunting across the United States, and it was something I did. It's something I wanted to do to give back.
Yeah.
I was never in the military. I had family in the military, but you know, it was great. Met a lot of great people.
Awesome.
You know, a lot of great people out there, and you know, our military, we can't give them enough.
No, without a doubt.
Is the shows on YouTube?
There's shows on YouTube.
What was it called?
USOC Adventures Television.
See, I just got
TV.
that plug. It's pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll find some of those clips and got lots to talk about, and you know,
Yeah.
maybe we'll turn this into a hunting show. Maybe we'll send you. Maybe
There
we'll
you
send
go.
you out doing some more stuff.
There you go.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, I
and
appreciate it.
Really hope
Thank
to
you.
really hope to have you on the show as a regular contributor.
Yeah, you know, I'm like I said, I've been in youth sports for a lot of years, and you know, whatever I can do to help the program, help youth sports in general, doesn't matter the community.
So is it official? Is he our Jordan Elbridge affiliate?
I hope so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
We need lots more affiliates. Rob at sxpnetwork.com. Contact us. Let us know all your great stories.
Tommy, don't worry about him. I got you. You're my guy.
All right. This has been the Sports Express Weekend Wrap-Up Show. Rob Bennett, Dan O'Hara, and Coach John LaFleur joining the team. We'll talk to you next week.